I mentioned this. I see this with people. They don't see. Sometimes they don't see the forest through the trees when they see this stuff, right? They do not understand that they're marching towards this, understanding that they should be going this direction because you're seeing more and more success. And I mean, maybe you got to take to help people think about that or look at it in a different way instead of marching towards you should be, where you got to be a little bit more open minded. What do you think people should look for in trying to find that unintended success?
Yeah, I think so going back to Silicon Valley, their big term that they're really throwing around right now is pivots, and where the idea is checking the business model to see where you're getting traction, where you're not. And if you look at even big companies like that became big successes, like Twitter. Twitter was a tiny little subsection of another piece of software that was a lot bigger featured, and they just used it internally just to say, hey, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
And that tiny little thing blew up. So there's usually inside what you're doing, if you can take a few steps back and look at it a little bit more objectively, there's probably, just like the 80-20 rule, there's always something that you're getting way more benefit results out of that's a tiny portion of what it is, whether it's whether it's what you do in your daily activities, whether it's what you're putting out in your company products. Just thinking about that 80-20 or 90-10 rule is really important. And then saying, okay, well, here's where we're getting a lot of traction. Our customers are really enjoying this piece of it. Why don't we go do more of that and see where that takes us? And it sometimes it requires you to kill off projects that you might really like, but aren't, for whatever reason the marketplace is telling you that's not the right project at the time right now. Just sometimes you gotta be strong and be able to make those changes. Like we talked to, Chris, you mentioned not bootstrapping. Mm-hmm. And one of the pitfalls a pitfall is actually having too much money. And I saw that with when I was building up this next group of companies. One of the first ones is called Maverick Business Adventures, where we took high-level entrepreneurs on these unique adventures combined with business and philanthropy. And the business model for it wasn't quite right. And I sunk, I'd say, about $400,000 into it because I was so passionate about it and what I really wanted to get it going. And the marketplace, I was seeing a little bit of traction, but not enough to really tell me that I should be spending that much money and hiring a lot of people I didn't need at that point. So, sometimes you gotta swallow that bitter pill and decide that you gotta make those transitions
and cut your losses.
Yeah.